Hello interwebs and welcome to my channel. I hope all of you are doing great. So for today's video, I'm going to do a bit of a shorter video just because I've been honestly inundated with a lot of different work this past week and I don't have a ton of time and my brain's kind of all discombobulated more so than usual than I typically am. So I'm going to do a short little discussion and honestly a rant, but I'm going to try and keep it positive and sort of open for discussion, not like getting angry or hating on anybody, but it's going to be a little bit of a harder discussion that I just want to put a little bow on and talk about briefly here. And that's surrounding this comment that I keep seeing crop up over and over and over again when I talk about people like JK Rowling, or recently when I talked about William Shatner, when I talk about problematic creators who I feel, as a trans person, have harmed the trans community with their words. And the comment that I keep hearing people say are, well, she's entitled to her opinion, or he's entitled to his opinion. Why can't we just have a disagreement? Why are you trying to say, she's harming you, she's hurting you? Why are you trying to shut her up? She's entitled to her own opinion. You can't hate on her or be angry at her. It's just a difference of thought. And I try to talk about this a little bit, but I just want to be very clear about it. When I criticize people like William Shatner or JK Rowling for words that I think are harmful to the transgender community, I am not saying that I think they are not allowed to say what they can say. As with everything, as in a world where I believe free speech exists, I believe they are allowed to say whatever they want to say. But first and foremost, they are not allowed to say something without criticism. They are not allowed to just say whatever they want and just people not say anything in response. They don't get to overshout other people. Now, naturally, just because they are celebrities with a big platform, their voice gets heard more than even like tens of thousands of trans people yelling back at them. It takes a crowd of people to just equal the amount of voice and platform that they have to sort of respond to them. But it does not mean that we aren't allowed to respond to them. Free speech does not mean that you are free from criticism or consequences for your words. It's just that you are allowed to say whatever words you want. But that's sort of getting into this cancel culture free speech thing that, JK Rowling sort of railed about in her, signing of the letter and other things that she's discussed. But I really kind of want to dig into this comment that people say she's entitled to her opinion. That comment is not used to say like, yes, she's entitled to her opinion, but it's a way to dismiss what I have to say and my worry and thoughts about the harm that JK Rowling and William Shatner and other people can do to the trans community with their platform. It's not just a difference of opinion. I can't just let things like that go because, as I said, I believe J.K. Rowling and William Shatner's words do harm to my community. I've talked about it in other videos. I've said how William Shatner and J.K. Rowling's words have harmed the trans community, or at least are misleading about the trans community. But to reiterate here, people look at what William Shatner and J.K. Rowling say, even if they don't intend to harm the trans community, and use it to justify policies and actions against the trans community. We've already seen it because of J.K. Rowling's words. There have been lawmakers both in the UK and the United States who have cited her points of views when they have made anti-transgender bills. Her words have direct influence on harming the transgender community. And so it's not just a difference of opinion. It's not a bygones be bygones. She can have her own opinion, I can have mine, and we can just let it all disagree. I have to criticize her. I have to speak out against her because otherwise it just lets her voice control the conversation. And as I said, she has such a strong voice that even my tiny little platform can in no way measure up to her platform. I just have to add to the chorus of hopefully voices that speak out against her. I have to do that because to not do that means that I am remaining silent in the face of my own community being hurt. I even try to do that for other communities too, to try and join my voices when other communities are heard. I feel like I need to talk about J.K. Rowling because her words attack me specifically and my community specifically. And even more so, there are people in my community who are less, protected, less, are more vulnerable than I am. I'm a upper middle class white girl living in a very trans positive city, Los Angeles. I'm not going to say I'm going to be completely fine. There have been instances where trans people are hurt in Los Angeles, but I'm generally more safe than, trans women of color or trans people that live in areas of the country that are less trans positive. So me speaking out is helpful for my own community, but also is me trying to talk for people who are less vulnerable, who don't necessarily have the platform that I have. I can't just let it be a difference of opinion, because to let her just have her opinion means that people like myself and people who are even more vulnerable than me are harmed directly because of her words. And so that's what I really wanted to talk about. I just can't let it be a difference of opinion. I have to speak out. And so when I see people saying, just let her have her own opinion, I hope you now understand a little bit more why I can't let that be the case. And again, she's allowed to say anything she wants to, but perhaps she shouldn't. All right, that's it. Like I said, it was a bit of a rant. It's a bit unstructured. It was a bit me kind of figuring it out as I said it. But like I said, I've just been busy, so I haven't been able to script out my Monday video or really plan it out. So I just kind of wanted to rant a little bit about that topic. But yeah, you know, if you want more videos like this on trans issues, LGBTQ issues, or geek culture issues, I mean, I'm kind of wearing a Star Trek shirt that really has nothing to do with the topic at hand, but, you know, it's what I had available at the moment. But if you want all that stuff, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. You can help me out over on Patreon. That really helps me pay the bills right now. Things like that. But beyond all of that, I'm just glad that you stopped by. I hope that we had a good conversation together, and I look forward to hearing your thoughts in the comments. And I hope that you, as always, live long and prosper. Thank you so much to all of my patrons, and a special thank you to Piston Twisted Garage, Ashley Allen Bokikio, Miranda Janelle, Eli Bergmas, Ashlyn Solstice, Christina Dalliance, Greg Gillum, Munir Amlani, Boyd and Mary Beth Earl, Wayne Twitchell, Alexander Miller, Ish the Mad, Buttoneer, Randy Thompson, Mouse Pounder, Jemshin, Susan Banks, Wellington Marcus, Lorena Mesa, Mari Neckar, John Stell, Gavin Robinson, Michael Beam, William Stewart, Jason Knott, Maeve, Stephen Clinard, Zach Cody, Subraxis, Wen Dizzle Bizzle, Dante St. James, Gretchen Badger, Polly Mina, Din Hagney, and Bree Beecher. Thank you so much to all of you. I could not do this without you, and I hope that you, as always, live long and prosper.